In carpentry, there's an expression: measure twice, cut once. Apparel manufacturers share the builder's appreciation for cutting with precision. Well before production workers make the first incision into layers of fabric, they must ensure that the fabric is properly arranged in a process called spreading. Spreading is the laying down of many layers or plies of fabric in a stack. The number of layers is determined by production demand, the ability of specific fabrics to stack without shifting, and the capacity of cutting tools. In the traditional approach to spreading, two workers grasp fabric from opposite corners and pull the fabric from a roll suspended above the cutting table. In modern factories, fabric is dispensed from spreading machines to accelerate production and eliminate the stretching and distortion that may result from pulling fabric by hand. Some spreading machines can ensure that the fabric layers are perfectly aligned and sufficiently free of defects. They can also be programmed to control the order in which the face or nap side of the fabric is spread. These combinations of fabric spread are guided by the technical capabilities of the individual spreading machine, the texture and design of the fabric, the direction of the nap, and the symmetry of the patterns. Here are two examples of spreading combinations. Face-to-face nap two-way is used with fabric that has no nap or design direction and for garments made only from matching left and right-hand pieces. In this spread, layers can be positioned without cutting the fabric at each end. Face-up nap two-way applies to asymmetrical garments, those with specific left and right-hand parts. In this spread, the nap or design of the garment needs to match. This spreading method requires what's called a turntable spreading machine, which allows the fabric roll to be reversed in direction after each ply is spread. This also ensures that the face side remains up on every ply. Other spreading combinations are face-up nap one way, face-to-face nap all pairs one way, and face-to-face nap within pairs one way. After the spread is completed, the fabric is ready for cutting. There are several ways to cut fabric, but no single method that suits all purposes. One of the more common cutting tools is the vertical knife. This powered unit is mounted on the table surface and uses a vertical arm to guide it. A production worker moves the knife through the fabric as the knife's reciprocating blade moves rapidly up and down. The rotary cutter is also manually guided, but lowered onto the fabric from above. The circular blade does not deflect and remains straight as it cuts, a problem sometimes experienced with vertical knives. Die cutters function like large cookie cutters. A heavy press forces the sharp edges of the die through plies of fabric. Because each die is unique in shape and expensive to make, this method is not commonly used to cut mass-produced fashion apparel. For this, apparel manufacturers rely heavily on automated cutters for fast, accurate cutting. One of these, the Gerber cutter, uses a slender computer-driven needle knife suspended above the fabric. This self-sharpening unit automatically adjusts its angle to ensure that the blade remains exactly perpendicular to the fabric. The table, built with small perforations, forms a vacuum and compresses the pile so more layers can be added before cutting.